Yuk Yuk's comedy clubs have reopened across the country, putting a smile on the face of many Canadians. And in particular, a smile on the face of the founder and CEO of Yuk Yuk's, Mark Breslin, who joins us this morning. Good to see you again.
Thank you. It's good to see you too, Bob. And I'll tell you something, that smile took 15 months to come upon.
Oh, yeah.
It's been really rough out there for all the arts, and especially for comics.
Yeah, many have tried to pivot or adapt, and you yourself and Yuk Yuk's as an organization, last time we spoke, actually, you were doing virtual comedy for corporate Canada. Are you going to continue that as well, post-pandemic?
We will continue that. I mean, we tried everything. We did corporate shows on Zoom. We did drive-in shows, which of course were completely insane.
Yeah.
We did patio shows. We did backyard shows. We did it all. But here's the thing about comedy. As opposed to music, where you can put a band on a boat somewhere and have people listen, in their little boats.
Yeah.
Comedy is very delicate, and it really needs a very precise environment to survive properly. And that means an indoor comedy club, 200 to 300 seats, low ceiling, all the chairs facing the stage, no drink machine going brrrr as comics are performing. The lighting has to be right, the sound has to be right, the decor package has to be right. And if you don't have all those things, the comics can't work to their maximum efficiency. So we're really happy that we're back in business, but tentatively, because it all goes province to province. Some provinces are more liberal than others right now. So we're just hoping that there isn't a fourth wave or a fifth wave or a sixth wave, and that we can continue to open up slowly and surely.
Yes, and it's tough to do comedy with a mask on, too.
Very tough, although, you were allowed to take your mask off inside even when you were performing. But, in my Ottawa club, they were very, very strict about things, and they actually had a huge piece of plexiglass that the comics performed in front of. It was also great in case somebody had the idea of throwing
tomatoes. It's a tomato guard for sure.
Yeah, so it worked in two different ways.
And the pandemic, I'm sure that's created a lot of comedy fodder.
Yeah, well, I tell you, every comic will have 4 good jokes about the pandemic, for sure. But then they want to talk about the stuff they always want to talk about. Family, relationships, pop culture. These things are perennials, and this is what comics are really dying to talk about.
And I wanted to talk to you about that, ask you about that. How has comedy changed? I know that some older or more veteran comics have lamented that there's stuff that they could do before that they just can't do now.
Well, in a good comedy club, it's always uncensored. And so I can only speak for Yuk Yuk's in saying that any comic who wants to go on stage and say pretty much anything, as long as they get the laughs, we're going to let them do it. And the audience wants that. It's interesting that Just for Laughs, the show that sells out the fastest is The Nasty Show. It sells out in normal times, not COVID times, when they actually have that show going live. They sell out 10 shows for that show, which is no holds barred, and that's the first one that sells out. So what's happened is things have changed in the media. For sure, you have to watch what you say on television. You have to watch what you say on the radio. But not so much in streaming, for instance. I mean, the internet has been a nice counterbalance, a nice counterweight to all that woke culture.
Well, continued success. Glad you're back up and running and your roster of comics are back on stage. You and the thing, Yuk Yuk's, that you created has created some monster Canadian comedian, international superstars from Howie Mandel, Norm Macdonald. We don't have time for the whole list, but I know there's more future stars bouncing off Yuk Yuk stages.
Thank you.
Good
We'll
to see
be
you, Mark.
opening our Burlington club by September, which is great.
Fantastic. And Niagara Falls?
Opening on the 19th of this month. Of August.
Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, and we'll link the Yuk Yuk's website with all the club dates at chch.com. Good to see you, Mark.
Good to see you too, Bob.